Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Road agency Sanral is hitting back at tender fraud accusations. The agency says there's a detailed process that has been cleared by the board and National Treasury to eliminate corruption. Let's go back to reporter Hloni Mtimkhulu, who has the latest for us. Hloni, what has been the response from Sanral with regards to the fact that there's been reports that there's a plan to transform the engineering sector?
Yeah, Masakho. So Sanral basically says that they are not trying to collapse big businesses and that they are not trying to stop them from doing their work, that they will not be stopping in terms of giving big businesses work. But they say that in the years that they've been around, they've received complaints and they themselves have seen that the sort of split in terms of who gets business and how they get business is still not aligned to the country and government's transformation mandate. And they see that things are not transforming and the pace of transformation in the construction and engineering sector is not moving as fast as it should be. So it has these 4 pillars that it has, which are roads, mobility, road safety, and stakeholders. And because transformation hasn't gone as quickly as they would have liked, they've now tacked on or added transformation as part of their 5 pillars now to kind of speed up the process. The problem, of course, is that now they have this new point scoring system to their tendering process, and that is what has been resisted, and that is what is receiving pushback from big businesses who are basically saying that you already had a system in place, now this is an additional system, and it's basically going to cause them to lose out on potential procurement of tenders. Whereas Sanral say, actually, no, we're just tightening up on things where these businesses would be able to get away with certain things before, and now with this tighter process or policy, that won't be the case anymore. And so they have been taken to court by some of those businesses, and there is court action that is in place at the moment that they're waiting on, and there's a new policy that is in place since earlier this year while a process happens with the previous policy. So there's a lot that's kind of happening around that, but basically Sanral for their part say that no, we're not trying to stop big businesses. The pie is big enough for everyone, but we're just trying to bring along small and medium-sized enterprises into the space so that more of them are in there, because a lot of those were black businesses that had come to them and had complained that they weren't getting business as well. But let us hear from the board chairperson of Sanral, Mr. Themba Mhambi, in terms of what exactly they are trying to do or what they are trying to address, Masakho.
It's only a moron, it's only a fool who will kill their big business. Because you aren't killing the big business, you are killing the ordinary people who are employed by those companies. And therefore, we want to put this on record here, that we will continue to support big companies in the construction space. But we will not do that at the expense of the small companies. We will do that within a context that makes use of the big companies to assist the smaller ones too.
But Hloni, there's still that, big topic of the construction mafia, right? So what is Sanral saying in terms of the impact this has had on the tender processes?
Well, so they're basically just saying that they're trying to sort of control the process or regulate the process better. So they are avoiding a situation where the businesses that are out there are in the hands of a few and where it is to the disadvantage of the many, and that way, they have more control over the process, and that there isn't a situation where, there are threats on people's lives, where there are entities that are holding the industry basically basically to ransom. And they say that they are trying to kind of avoid this situation by having more stringent criteria, or more regulated or more controlled, more strict criteria in terms of who receives what tenders. But it is obviously an ongoing process. As I said, some of it is in court, some of it has been halted for now. There's a new policy that is in place at the moment, and even that new policy, there is some resistance to it as well. So it's still, it's it's not early days, but there's still I think a lot more legal battles that will be following this, and a lot more resistance. They did say, Sanral, that even though there is resistance to the policies, the procurement policies that they have in place, that they will not be taking any action against big businesses who don't comply or who don't toe the line. And I think this is where it gets a little bit confusing, just in terms of, you have these regulations. If there won't be businesses that comply with it, then they will not be taking action against them, because they say there's a big enough pie for everyone. But then what is the point of having these regulations then if people are not compliant, and then there's no action for them? But they did say that they're just trying to bring everyone closer together. They're trying to get everyone to each other. They believe that they will be able to find each other, them and the big businesses that are resisting this call for now. But we will have to see how that all plays out over the next few weeks and months even, Masakho.
All right, Hloni Mtimkhulu live for us there in Midrand at the